Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about Mark Cuban declined this $2.30 billion investment. Massive regret. Let's get right into it. Everyone, no matter how wealthy or savvy, has moments of regret about missed opportunities. This is even true for billionaires who sometimes look back and wish they had taken certain chances, especially when it comes to investment decisions that could have yielded astronomical returns. Take Mark Cuban, the well-known billionaire, as a case in point. Cuban, a seasoned entrepreneur and investor, revealed in a candid conversation that he deeply regrets not taking up an investment opportunity with Uber. He had been presented with a golden opportunity by none other than Uber's co-founder Travis Kalanick back in 2009. The offer was to invest in the fledgling ride-sharing service when it was valued at a mere $10 million. However, Cuban decided to pass on this, as he felt at the time that Uber's valuation was overestimated. He shared this personal anecdote during a recent episode of comedian Kevin Hart's popular Peacock talk show, Heart to Heart. Putting this into perspective, Cuban pondered aloud, "Just think, if I would have given him $250,000 on a $10 million valuation, it'd be billions today." And indeed, he's right. Given the fact that Uber's market capitalization stood at a whopping $90.1 billion as of the most recent Friday data, a quick calculation reveals that Cuban's hypothetical investment of $250,000 would have ballooned to an astounding $2.25 billion today. It's not like Cuban is struggling financially, far from it. He's done exceptionally well for himself, with a current net worth pegged at around $5.1 billion. But reflecting on the Uber miss, he said with a hint of humor and a touch of humility, "I mean, I've done okay, but still." It's a gentle reminder that even the world's most successful people have what-if moments. Mark Cuban and Travis Kalanick weren't strangers to each other in the business world. In fact, back in 2005, Cuban had invested a significant sum of $1.7 million in Kalanick's earlier venture, a peer-to-peer networking startup named Red Swoosh. When this startup was later sold to the cloud services giant Akamai in 2007 for a cool $18.7 million, Cuban remarked that they made a little bit of money. Because of their past relationship, Cuban was definitely open to hearing what Kalanick had to propose next. Recounting their conversation, Cuban shared, "He comes to me like, first off, and says, 'I've got this thing. It's going to replace taxi cabs.'" And Cuban's initial reaction? He was all in. He enthusiastically responded, "I was like, I love it." However, there was a slight hiccup in this potentially profitable partnership. While Cuban was impressed with the concept of Uber, he didn't quite see eye to eye with Kalanick on its valuation. Cuban felt the $10 million valuation was a tad too high, suggesting, "I said, I'll do it at a $5 million valuation." For Uber. But as business goes, sometimes deals don't come through. Kalanick chose a different route. Cuban, reflecting on that decision, remarked with a mix of humor and regret, "He never came back to me. He got somebody else. Whoops." Interestingly, Cuban wasn't the only one reminiscing about missed opportunities with Uber. The show's host, comedian Kevin Hart, had his own tale of bypassing an early investment in Uber. Hart ruefully mentioned that he passed on investing around $75,000 in Uber's early days. If he had taken that leap of faith, he estimates his investment could have skyrocketed to a value of $100+ million. Troy Carter had once approached Hart with an opportunity to invest in Uber well before it transformed into the global sensation it is today. Recollecting Carter's pitch, Hart shared that Carter had described the venture as, basically, like strangers giving people they don't know rides. To this, Hart had candidly responded, "This has to be the stupidest ST I've ever heard." Mark Cuban, always quick with a quip, offered Hart some solace. "Don't feel bad," he said, suggesting that his own missed investment opportunity with Uber might have been a more significant loss in terms of potential returns compared to what Hart would have gained. Beyond this lighthearted exchange, Cuban also recalled his interaction with Travis Kalanick, Uber's co-founder. While he might have had reservations about Uber's initial valuation, he was insightful enough to foresee some of the challenges the company would inevitably face. Cuban had warned Kalanick about the impending regulatory hurdles Uber would have to navigate. He specifically mentioned the dealing with all of the taxicab commissions that are going to try to put you out of business. The sting of missed opportunities can linger, especially when it comes to high-stake investment decisions. This sentiment rings true for Mark Cuban when reflecting on his decision not to invest in Uber. Years have passed since that moment, but the regret has left an indelible mark on the billionaire's mind. Such experiences, however, often become lessons that shape future choices. During the famed SuccessFlow event in 2017, Cuban addressed this very subject. With a mix of passion and determination, he made it clear that he wouldn't let another groundbreaking startup slip through his fingers like Uber did. Reflecting on his earlier missed opportunity, he openly invited entrepreneurs and innovators, saying, "If you really believe and you really have something that you think is going to disrupt the world, bring it to me." He continued, emphasizing his commitment not to overlook such chances again. "I won't make the same mistake twice." That's all for today, and we'll be sure to catch you all in the next one.